let's take a look at how the site audit tool works in Ahrefs. Now, Ahrefs is a paid tool, so you're going to have to sign up for a subscription. But once you're in your account, you should see the site audit option up here at the top. If you just click New Project right here, it's going to pop open where we can add in a project. Now, you can import from Google Search Console if you prefer. I like to just add it manually. So if I click manually add here, well, I think I was going to do Office Depot. It's a competitor of Best Buy. We can kind of compare and see what each has going on, but it's going to start looking through some stuff. If you own the site, you can actually embed this code in the header of every page on the site, and that will give you better crawling abilities. But I'm going to continue without that because I do not have access to this website. And ultimately, this is where we would verify the ownership, which again, we do not have access to this site. And then it's going to give us some scheduling options here. Let's say we want it to crawl monthly at a specific time on a specific day. Of course, you can adjust this. And we'll click continue. Then we want to choose a location and any keywords that we want to be tracking through the rank tracker. I'm not going to actually add any for right now, but once we're done, actually we have the ability to also add in some competitors. Maybe we look at Best Buy. Oh, Best Buy is already right here. All right, go ahead and click finish. Now it's going to take quite some time to crawl this website, in part because this is a big website. So it's probably beneficial to just give it some time. You might actually step away for a little bit and let it finish doing its thing. But when it is done, it's going to show something like this. This is actually for Best Buy, which is one of the competitors to Office Depot. And we can see, I don't know, something happened recently with their health score. There's some weird stuff going on this website, it looks like. But either way, they have a lot of URLs with issues. Be interesting to see exactly what the issue is here. But this site audit is going to give us all of the crawled URLs and show us how many have issues, how many don't. It'll give us an overall health score. And then it'll start showing us how many notices versus errors versus warnings that we have on those pages. And then we can see, based on the date when it was crawling, some of the data here. And then we can, get rid of these if we want, but if we want, we can start digging more into some of these internal pages, for instance, and start to get a better sense of what's going on with these pages and start fixing issues and stuff. So there's going to be all sorts of different tools and reports and stuff over here on the left side under the site audit tool for this specific website or project. And so there's tons of stuff we can dig into here, right? These are all the pages where it's saying, we were seeing that it said that there were errors on all these. There may or may not be errors on all of these, so it's good to look through them and check. I am seeing that there is at least one 301 redirect here, but that is, it looks like just the non-HTTPS version with the www. So it's probably just redirecting to the main domain, which is normal. But we can keep expanding this, and maybe I did see another 301 error. Once again, I think it's just the base domain that's being redirected. We can start digging into the link explorer. Actually, looks like most of this is looking pretty good. There's some internal linking opportunities that it's going to present to us, so this is great. Now, the site audit is really designed for on-site technical SEO. That's what it's auditing, right? Which is why it's giving us some of these internal link opportunities where it notices, hey, you're mentioning switch to, but you're not actually linking off to switch to, but you do have a page for that. So why don't you link to that page, right? Really helpful. trying to do this manually is a lot of work. Way easier to just use software to do it, right? Okay, here's some. I'm going to start breaking this down so we can see most of it is actually through the shop. Quite a bit of it is through their search page, and then we can see. It looks like there's some 400 errors that came about recently. Let's look at some of these reports and see. Yeah, there's some client error pages here for sure. So now we can see these. We could have done this through an advanced filter, but there's quite a lot that goes into these filters. So I find it's easier sometimes to just go to the internal pages, see what's up, and click through. So now I guess it got rid of this cell phone chargers page. A whole bunch of pages are starting to show up as 404 errors. Obviously, we would want to fix these because a 404 error means this page no longer exists. And so if this was our website, we would want to make sure that there were no 404 errors, right? And you can basically just keep going through, check out the indexability, the links, any redirects that are going on. Google doesn't particularly like it when there's a whole bunch of redirects on your site. It's going to be giving you data about the content, social media, duplicate content, all sorts of information that can help you improve the technical SEO on your site. I'm not going to go through every single one of these because they're pretty self-explanatory. It will kind of walk you through, if you have issues with your images, it's going to let you know, hey, you got a whole bunch of missing alt text on your images. Here's the images, and then you can go ahead and fix them if you need. So I just want to kind of give you an overview of how this tool works. Then if you go to all the issues, you'll have a full breakdown of everything. I like to print this out and save it. And then as I'm working through these fixes, I can start to check and see how things are changing over time. So that's pretty much an overview of things. If you have any questions about conducting a site audit with Ahrefs, don't hesitate to reach out. Just drop your questions in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to get back to them there.
If you're like most new business owners, you're probably struggling to get your online presence established, let alone get it to the point where it's bringing you a consistent flow of customers, right? So that's why I created this free course where I actually walk you step by step through the whole process of setting up your online presence. This is the same process we've been using for our clients for over a decade at one of my agencies. And essentially, I'm going to show you how to set up an SEO-friendly business name right from the get-go, how to develop your website really quickly and easily, how to set up your Google Maps listing, start getting some Google reviews, everything you need in order to have a substantial online presence where people can actually start finding you and purchasing your products or services. The best part is I'm going to show you how to do it in under a couple of hours and all for less than 50 bucks. If you're interested, I'll leave a link below where you can get signed up today. Make sure to check this course out for free right now because I'm probably going to start charging for this at some point in the future. All right, I'll see you on the other side.